floor heating manifolds together with pipe. So what I'm basically doing is running lines down there, over here, down here, and to the mechanical room. This one will be the same. The size is a 3/4, and then there'll be a 3/4 and a 1-inch pipe that tie this down to the mechanical room as well. And that's how all the hot water loops around the house, heats the floor. So this could take a while, but I do enjoy this PEX pipe work. So I'm gonna get started and do some proper blocking in here so that the pipes are off this floor joist, so it's not just kind of flapping around up there or even just kind of squished over to the joist. I like things nice and solid, so that's what I'm gonna do, and I'll let you take a look at that in a little bit. Hey, thanks for coming back. Let's go. All right, day 2 of the manifold. You can see here I got a little bit done yesterday. And I'm working on the second line. There's 3 lines that come from the upper manifold that go down to the mechanical room. 3 lines that go from this manifold down to the mechanical room. As you can see there, I've already got it all ready for these 1-inch and 2 3/4-inch lines. Obviously some kind of a send and return. But we'll just continue to do it here, and I have all the accessories, whatnot, so let's carry on. All right, well, looky here. I got about 8 hours to get 3 lines from the upper manifold basically just down into the basement, just below the surface of the floor. So not a lot, but always amazes me how challenging this kind of thing can be, because you can't fit the crimper in any of these spaces, so you kind of got to do 2-3 steps in advance and assemble it as much as you can, and then, but anyway, it's looking pretty good. Now, put some blocks in here and make all of this a bit more presentable and strengthened, reinforced, if you will. Well tied in there. All right, it's coming along, as you can see. They're all going to where they should be. I still have another 3 to go. It's going really hassle-free when you're not trying to crimp between floor joists and you can't get the crimper in there and you're pulling things down, and it's kind of a drag, but today's been perfectly smooth. I've been able to get access to all the crimps without any issues, and just moving right along here. All right, so what I'm doing here is plugging off these lines here. As you can see, I put a plug in here. And I'll charge up the system, and then they'll know if any of this part of the infrastructure is leaking. We've already tested the manifolds, and they're good. But now it's just all the auxiliary barrier that link the 3 manifolds. Make sure that these lines aren't leaking. And again, I'm doing this myself, and I'm happy to. It's a lot of fun working with PEX, but it just kind of comes back to doing as much as I possibly can. Will let me do the work, and then he comes by and tests it all and makes sure that it's all done properly. So there's no worry about me screwing up. But a lot of this work is rudimentary. It does take time, though, and these dudes, they make big bucks. So it's another reason why it's taken me 5 years to build this house. because I literally try to do every conceivable thing that I can do on my own. I do it. So anyway, it's a lot of fun getting her done. All right, so I got all these tied in. And as you can see there, there's little pieces of tape that are colored. They're correlated with the ones that go to the floors. So when he puts it all together, he'll know exactly what's going on. So I'll put a pressure, like a kind of like a thing you'd fill up your tire with a pressure gauge, and I'll take it up to 100 pounds. And with any luck, it'll all hold pressure. And that's that part. If it leaks, it'll be a nightmare because I've custom cut everything to fit. I don't know. Let's just hope it doesn't. Okay, so here we go. As you can see, all these are all connected and tied into this one gauge. And you're supposed to test it at 100. I don't know if we can see it there. It's kind of weird in here, but that's right on 100. And I've just filled it up. So, theoretically, if that needle doesn't go down, it's a success. Okay, looks like I have a leak somewhere in the system. It sucks. So I have to go around, soap test all the PEX joints, figure it out. I pumped it back up to 100. Now I'm gonna soap test this stuff. And so that could be it. That's what I thought. Could also be a place like this. It's still leaking. Here and here. So I gotta take this all apart. Put new Teflon on it. Well, this is really dragging on. I had to take it all apart, and where you see that fresh yellow tape, I had to redo all those joints. I mean, it's a really old meter. This is from the 80s. And it's right on 100 there, as you can see. So it's quitting time, but we'll leave it overnight. And I sprayed it. Doesn't seem to have any bubbles. I spent about 4 or 5 hours the last few days making this shelf, I guess you would say, for my youngest daughter for her bedroom. Kind of matches something I made for her about 1.5 years ago or a year ago. It's all out of spruce. Pick out a few nice 2x4s without any knots, and you make that for about $10-12 of material. It's pretty darn good. Just gonna put a coat of satin lacquer on it now, and that'll be done. So I hope she likes it. All right, here we go. Beginning to drill some of the first holes for the electrical wires. I have these boxes just tagged here. They're not fully mounted because I want to make sure I have a meeting with the electrician this morning, so I want to make sure that everything's cool before I put 12, well, I guess there's 8 screws in each box. So I've got 1 screw holding it in. And if he likes where they are, then I'll mount them permanently. All right, so I thought I had this beat. It's dropped 20 pounds. I'm like, come on, man. I sprayed everything. I don't know. And then I see this. This valve is leaking slightly. There we go. We'll tighten that up. So we've tightened the valve stem up. We've put a traditional bicycle cap on. Now, let's see what happens here. No bubbles, I don't think. Okay, and I don't know why. Might be the temperature came up slightly. We're up 2 pounds. And that could just be because in the last half hour, the temperature has come up. As temperature changes outside, it can affect your pressure, believe it or not. So I'm assuming that's what it is. Okay, so we're at 100. Make note of that. I'll also put a piece of tape on there at the 100 mark. And we'll come back to this in a few days and see if this has corrected everything. Okay, so it's the next day and that hasn't moved. So finally we got that whole thing fixed and pressurized as it should be. No leaks. Great. All right, so I'm taking on a little side project here. And I'm gonna build some stairs that come off here. This deck is semi-temporary. I hope it's not there for any more than 2 or 3 years. But we need access to the back. So I did build this last summer, and it's got the blocks, so it can all be removed. I'm gonna leave these stairs here because we're gonna have to pack drywall in, and it's just a better path. But in the meantime, when those get taken away, these will be here, and it'll have a hand railing. And the beauty of it is it's all under cover. So if you do enter in the back on a rainy day, you don't have to go through a line of rain, the waterfall there. So that's just a little side project I'm doing. And I found these old stringers, and it looks to me like they're configured just about right. So I think I'm going to attempt to use those as a pattern, because calculating these stairs is there's a formula, but I'm not exactly proficient at it. I seem to have been able to get by over the last few years building stairs and stuff, but this looks like it'll work. So okay, see, I'm moving along here. I went with 3 stringers on this one because I had the material kicking around, and I'll give you an update here in a minute. All right, that's a wrap for today, guys, but you can kind of see the aesthetic thing I'm going for there with the black stringers. Again, reusing that old warped fascia board that was left on the roof, and it works good, so no harm done. Okay, so what I'm doing is mass producing what I call beefy spindles. And this is actually treated wood. And you can see here I'm kind of going into production with them. Some I took 2 2x4s and glued them together. And some of these ones here are from an old deck that I tore down. And the wood was painted and screwed and everything, but I cut around all the screws, basically recycled it, and this is as good as new. So I'm saving a little bit of money on some recycled wood, and I like the way these spindles are turning out. You can see they're jumbo size compared to a typical banister rail spindle. So I'm looking forward to seeing those go in. I'm back pivoting onto the electrical again, because it's a really rainy day here, and that deck stuff requires dry. Plus, I've had a few days on that, so I have to get back to the electrical. And you'll see that these boxes here that go on an exterior wall have this little bit of insulation, and as opposed to here's a roof light with insulation. So despite the fact that there'll be insulation up in that roof section, this still requires a little bit of insulation that they have on it. Just kind of like it looks like a little bit of rubber weather stripping. And here's one without it, which you'd use on, say, a main floor ceiling. Whoops. So they're basically the same thing, but one has this lip with insulation. So that's, you got to keep that in mind when you're putting your stuff in. Right now I'm drilling holes for electrical wire. Okay, so just carrying on with various boxes, and that one's a smoke detector. They're required in every bedroom, and you know, when the electrician said it's a lot of work putting these boxes in, I thought, oh, okay, you know, I can handle that, but it really is a lot of work. Got lights everywhere and switches everywhere. And you know, these things, they all require additional blocking. And you know, like if you're walking into a room and you're going to turn the light on, you know, it's got to be in a comfortable spot. So often you're blocking out, or you're blocking out so that there's room for door trim. But I figure there's probably 75 different types of boxes up here. And lights. And you know, vanity lights and regular lights. So yeah, there's a lot of boxes just to put on the top floor, and it has taken a long time. So he was quite right. It didn't sound too bad when he was telling me, but yeah. All right, I think I'm getting closer. I think I've got all the boxes in upstairs. And now I'm going to drill some holes that I think might be of use to us. It's hard to know exactly because I'm not an electrician. I don't know how they route the wire in cases. And you got these TV boxes, so you can hang your TV, and it's got an HDMI connection in there as well, although I don't think you really need that in this day and age because most cable boxes are wireless, Bluetooth or whatever the hell. So anyway, I think I'm getting close to getting done up here for this portion. Yeah, it's a bunch of holes drilled. So I got a little bit done. Anyway, guys, I think that'll be the end of this episode. Thanks for coming back. I'll see you next time.